Multiple point of views does not mean equal development. Some point of view characters can be major, some can be minor, but they're all essential. Writer Unleashed is for you, a writer who has a story you want to bring onto the page and into the hearts and minds of readers. I'm Nancy Panuccio, writer, editor, and book coach. Each week, we'll explore techniques, mindsets, and inspiration for writing stories readers can't put down. Thanks for spending some time with me today. Now, let's begin. Well, hello there, and welcome to another episode of Writer Unleashed. Today, we're tackling a question that comes up pretty often in my inbox, in my DMs, and sometimes in my masterclasses. When writing a story with multiple points of view, how much narrative space should I give each point of view? Does each point of view character need their own desire and transformation? Does each point of view character need their own arc of change? Or is that reserved mainly for the protagonist? And the answer is, it depends. But let me break down exactly what should guide your decision. When you have multiple points of view, your characters exist on a spectrum. Co-protagonists have nearly complete transformational arcs. For example, in Station 11, both Kirsten and Jivan have meaningful arcs with desires and transformations. Kirsten emerges as the main protagonist who has the showdown with the antagonist at the end, but both experience a full arc of change. Both transform. Supporting point of views have some internal change, but not full transformation. They might shift their understanding, they might change their approach, or experience some growth, but they don't fundamentally change. For example, in Station 11, there are multiple point of view characters beyond Kirsten and Jivan. Every character affects every other character, but not all have the same weight or depth of change. And then we have perspective characters or subplot characters. These provide a window into the story, but they don't change at all. For example, in Revolutionary Road, there are subplot characters who show us how the main characters, Frank and April Wheeler, appear from the outside. These perspective characters have less narrative space and wind up at the end the same way we met them in the beginning. They're essential for what they reveal, but transformation is reserved for the main characters. They get the full arc of change, not the subplot characters, not these perspective characters. Okay, so when does each point of view character need a full arc of change? You want to give each point of view character a complete transformation when, number one, you're writing a true ensemble. These stories treat multiple characters as co-protagonists. Each has their own want, false belief, and transformation. For example, in Barbara Kingsolver's novel, The Poisonwood Bible, 5 female voices, the mother and her 4 daughters, each of these 5 characters get complete arcs spanning 30 plus years. Each daughter has distinct desires, transformations, and thematic questions. Now, notably, the domineering father never gets a point of view. The novel centers around the women's stories. Number 2, when your point of views explore different themes. If one character's driving question is, what does loyalty mean? While another character's question is, when is rebellion justified? Well, each of these characters need their own arc to answer their thematic question. For example, the novel The Nightingale follows two sisters in Nazi-occupied France. Both characters have complete arcs, but radically different transformations. Vianne transforms from passive rule follower to quiet resistor, risking everything to hide Jewish children. Isabel transforms from impulsive rebel to strategic resistance leader. She leads nearly 100 Allied pilots to safety. So the novel asks, what does courage look like? And both character arcs answer differently. And number 3, your genre demands it. For example, epic fantasy readers expect full arcs for each point of view character. Now, that doesn't mean you have a lot of point of view characters, but you're going to develop full character arcs for each of them. Romance readers expect both love interests to transform. So both love interests will have their own character arc, their own arc of change. Both characters should change each other. Okay, so the next question is, when can some point of views skip the full character arc? Well, in thrillers and mysteries, the detective transforms, but the killer's point of view might just show his actions as he traps the girl in the basement. He's not going to change once the detective finds him. The victim's friend might provide emotional stakes without changing dramatically. You can skip the full transformational arc in some relationship stories. One character has the transformative arc, while the other provides context or contrast. For example, in the novel Eleanor and Park, Eleanor transforms more than Park does. You can also skip full transformation when point of views serve different functions. Some characters are witnesses or mirrors. They give us a different angle on the main protagonist. For example, in The Book Thief, Death narrates. Death is a character, but Death does not transform. In Revolutionary Road, Shep Campbell is a supporting point of view. He's a subplot character. His purpose is to show how Frank and April Wheeler appear from the outside. He's their neighbor and friend. He's married to Millie, but he idealizes April throughout the novel. He has a major crush on her. When he finally sleeps with her and she tells him, "I don't know who I am," his illusion shatters. He realizes she's not the perfect woman he imagined, but a desperate, broken person. So this changes his understanding, but it doesn't transform him fundamentally. He ends the novel as the same dissatisfied man, still married to Millie, still compromised. Okay, here are 2 common mistakes to avoid when writing multiple points of view. Mistake number 1, treating all point of views equally. Multiple point of views does not mean equal development. Some point of view characters can be major, some can be minor, but they're all essential. Mistake number 2 is giving every point of view the same narrative space and weight as your protagonist. This creates an unfocused story. Readers won't know who to root for. Okay, here are 3 key questions to ask yourself for each point of view character. Question 1, what is this character's role in the story? Is this character a protagonist who must transform, or a witness who provides perspective like Shep Campbell does? This determines how much arc work this character needs. Question 2, How much page time do they get? A character with 30% of the book needs development. A character with 5% serves a different purpose. So make sure that you're not giving equal time to point of view characters whose arc does not matter to the story, who doesn't need a full transformation, who's just there to shed light on your protagonist. And question number 3. What happens if you remove this character's point of view? If the story doesn't work without their point of view, either deepen their arc or give them less narrative space depending on their role in the story. If the story still works without this character's point of view, consider cutting this character completely. You never want extraneous characters taking up unnecessary space in your story or in your reader's head. So either make them more important to the story or cut them. Here's what to remember. If you're writing an ensemble where readers invest equally in multiple journeys, give each major point of view their complete arc of change. If you're writing one protagonist with additional points of view, only the protagonist needs the full transformation. Other point of views can serve as witnesses, catalysts, or outside perspectives. The key is being intentional. Know why each point of view character exists. Make sure each one earns its place by either transforming or providing something essential the protagonist's point of view can't. Every point of view character should be essential, whether they experience the full arc of change or not. They're either experiencing the action and being changed by it, or they're shedding light on your main character, giving us a different angle, even if they don't fundamentally change by the end. Remember, point of view characters exist on a spectrum. Some experience a full transformation, some don't change at all, but all of them should be essential to your story. So there you have it. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If you know any writers who need some support in their writing, please share this episode or the Writer Unleashed podcast in general. And if you love what you're listening to, subscribe on your favorite listening platform. And if you're listening on Apple, please leave me a review. Reading how this podcast impacts your writing truly lights me up and helps me create topics for the show. Till next time, keep writing, and I'll talk to you soon.